Hello. Let's start with a 45-minute easy beginners yoga session today. So let's start with a little lie down. Whether you want to be flat on your back or whether you want a different position that's more comfortable for you, we're just going to spend a few minutes connecting to the breath, to the body. And if you don't like lying flat, you can try constructive rest, which is what I'm doing here with my feet on the mat, slightly apart, and then my knees can just drop together. Ease the shoulders out, just have a little wiggle and then let the body settle. Start by feeling those points of contact that your body makes with the floor. So the backs of the feet, the legs, the lower back and the hips, the upper back and the shoulders, the arms and the hands, the back of the head, and the whole of the body on the mat. And then we bring all of our awareness to our breath, simply observing it as it comes in through the nose, and we feel the air passing over the throat, into the lungs. Feel the air as we breathe out, pass back over, out through the throat and nose. Just tuning in to the sensation. Maybe feeling that expansion as you inhale at the bottom of the ribs. And how the ribs soften and slowly release as you breathe out. And how that links into the belly, softly rising, softly falling with each breath. So we feel the breath within the body, and we connect to the body through the breath. Few more nice belly breaths here, just following the rhythm. And knowing that with each belly breath, you're sinking a little bit deeper into that relaxed state of the parasympathetic nervous system. Each belly breath stimulates more serotonin, more anti-stress enzymes. And as the body settles into stillness, breath finds its own natural rhythm. And the mind also starts to settle. But anything you've got left circling away up there, just visualize a bag or a box next to you. Tumble it all in to that box, that bag. Seal it up and push it out of your room. And give yourself this time completely. knowing that most of the things that we worry about never actually come to be. Few more breaths here. And it's good to remind yourself right here, before we move into practice, of any areas of tension or injuries, and just remembering to move a little bit more kindly through those areas. So let's bring some movement in, wiggle your fingers, move your wrists, and then let's draw the knees all the way in. Have a little sway, side to side. Have a little circle, both knees going the same way. Just a small circle so we feel the bony aspect of the sacrum into the mat there. Let's change direction, go the other way. And let's draw the knees out to the side, away from each other. Place the hands on the shins or the tops of the knees as we draw the knees away and apart. And then we start to circle both ankles away from each other. A little bit of movement through the calves as you move around the circle. And we change direction. Being mindful still of the breath. Keeping our focus on the moment. Drawing the knees together now. Left foot goes onto the mat. And we place the right foot on our right thigh. Anywhere along there. As long as it feels okay. And maybe flex that foot that's on the thigh. And that gives some protection to the knee here. And then we want to maybe gently see if we can open a little bit into this right hip by just gently pressing on the right thigh with the right hand, more like a little pad, almost like a little massage. And then let's draw the left foot up, draw both knees towards the torso, and maybe hopefully you're feeling something now in that left hip. You can go a little bit further if you like. You can lift the head up and take the hands through the legs, hold on to the thigh. So you're working into the core a little bit, strengthening and then releasing. Let's draw the right foot out to the side, right knee's going towards your armpit again. So we're coming into a half happy baby. You're drawing that right knee down towards your right armpit, either with the hand on the thigh, shin, foot. And then the left knee can go out to the side in a half cobblers or half butterfly pose. Place the left hand there and you get this nice cross stretch across the groin. And then we slowly release. Let's draw the left knee up, out to the side, and then put the left foot on top of the right leg. Again, flex that foot if you want to protect this left knee a little bit. And again, we're just giving a little pad or even a squeeze out to the side with the left hand on the left thigh. And then we take that right foot off the mat. We draw it towards the right knee, towards the torso. Maybe lifting the head as well and the shoulders if you want that added little bit of core. And then we release. And it's nice now just to take that Left knee out to the side and release a little bit into that half happy baby. Left foot up to the ceiling, and the right knee again can drop out to the side. Kind of helps to keep the hips level as well. So we take a breath here or two, and then we slowly release that foot. Bring both knees back together, have a little circle, go the other way, and then we're going to take a nice deep breath in, and as we breathe out, we're going to lift the head towards the knees. We're going to squeeze everything together. And you've got a choice here of rolling onto your side and coming up to seated, or you can try the rock movement or the hinge movement, or a little bit of both. So the hinge is the one where you put your hands under your bum and you come up that way. Or you can try the rock. So we have the knees bent. Oops, something in my foot there. Knees bent, and then we straighten and unbend, and we start to rock on the spine. Don't do it if it hurts your spine. If it feels good, do it. And then we're all going to come up to seated. So let's have a little boat tonight and work on strengthening the spine, strengthening our core. Excuse me. So you want to start with a nice straight back and bringing the feet towards you. Maybe the tiptoes start to lift up and down off the mat as you pad them in towards each other. You can have the hands on the thighs or here, anywhere. What we're going to do is we're going to lift the toes away, and we're going to keep the belly attached to the thighs, and then we're going to release. Cross the legs into a nice easy pose and just roll forward slightly. Take some of the pressure off the hip flexors here, and then we come back into boat again. And again, you can stay here and just hover off the floor, or go a little bit higher, holding, or with the arms out. And then again we cross, and then we gently fold forward for a moment. Oh, I can feel the top of my hips, almost a sigh of relief. And then we come back in for one more go, deciding whether you want to stay low or go a little bit higher. Take the hands away. This is where you have to decide what's right for your body. If you go up and you're all wobbling and you're a bit shaky, then maybe it's too much, and maybe you just want to stay here. And again, cross the legs, roll slightly forward, let everything soften a little bit. Now again, another choice. You can put your hands down here and roll straight over if you know that your knees are good. If your knees aren't so good, then I would say take your legs around to the side and come onto your knees. So we come into our cat curls. So you want to make sure the knees are nice and soft, padded. Hands are under your shoulders, nice and wide, fingers, create a good base. And then we start by breathing in, dropping the tailbone, belly softens, back softens, we lift the chest, we lift the chin. We breathe out, and that rolls back down as we tuck up towards the ceiling. Breathing in, belly drops, the chin lifts, tailbone is already lifted. We breathe out, tailbone drops, head drops, back arches up. So keep going in your own time with your own breath. See if you can get the movement to roll up and down the spine rather than an in and an out movement. And let's softly come back into a little child's pose. So any version, you can have your arms out in front if you still want to stretch out. You can have the arms folded with the head on top. If this bothers your knees, stay high hips over the knees, and just bring the head down like so. And that can be still quite relaxing. So we've always got options. We take a few breaths here. And then we come back up onto tabletop. We're going to go for eye of the needle. So we're going to lift our left hand. We're going to follow the left hand up with our gaze. And then we're going to scoot that left hand through between the right leg and the right arm and see if we can bring the left shoulder down towards the floor. And you can keep your hands next to you if you need support here, or you can walk that right hand all the way up to the top of your mat so you get a good stretch through the armpit and the right shoulder. And then you slowly walk that hand back. And we take a breath in and we push back up. We come back into our tabletop. Maybe just a little sway side to side, ease out. And then we go right arm up, stretch up to the side, and then scooch that arm through and land the right shoulder down onto the mat. Hand can stay here, or that left hand can walk up to the top of your mat. Get a nice stretch here too. And then you walk that hand back. And you press it into the mat, you breathe in. And we lift back up. So let's come into some more strengthening for the back here. So balancing cat. We want to lift the right foot and extend it backwards, tucking the toes and pointing through the heel, so stretching through the heel rather than the toe. Lift the belly up towards the spine so you're not collapsing, and then see if you want to extend that left arm in front of you. Keep the belly up, keep the back supported, and then release. Let's just come back for a moment onto the knees. If you can't sit like this, you stay high. And let's just unwind those wrists for a little bit. So just little circles, like so. Go the other way too. There we go. Ease off some of that wrist pressure. So let's come back in, and this time the left foot shoots back. Remember, we're tucking the toes, extending through the heel. Or have we just done that side? Okay, whichever side you did before, do the other side now. No, it was left foot back this time and right arm forward. It's the magic of doing yoga. All of a sudden you forget which side is left, which is right, what you've done. And release. Okay, let's tuck those toes behind us. And let's see if we can lift the hips up, pressing away from the hands. And see if you can bring your head through your arms. Keep your shoulders pressing away from your hands. And maybe pedal one foot down and then the other foot down. So we work into those long muscles in the back of the legs, hamstrings. A few more, pedaling it out. And then we're going to come down straight away, kind of little plank, and then straight into a little cobra or a little sphinx if you prefer to keep your elbows on the floor. We extend the neck, we get that lovely back bend, and then we release slowly, hands under the shoulders. We come back up, we tuck the toes behind, and we come back to downward dog. And this time it's up to you. You can keep pedaling if you like, if that feels right for you, or you can try for a more stationary downward dog. So you want to be pressing the hips up as high as you can, and pressing away from the hands, drawing the head through and down towards the floor. And let's slowly start to walk the hands towards the feet, or the feet towards the hands. You can bend your knees. In fact, do bend your knees, because that helps the spine to release. So we want a nice soft spine here as we just dangle and get gravity work on the vertebrae. Sway side to side, do what feels good. If your arms are dragging, hands go on elbows. You can even have a little bounce. Some people like a little bounce. Shake any tension out. And we're going to slowly roll up. So we're going to, drop the hips. That was a nice click from my ankle. We're going to slowly breathe in as we roll up to standing rather than standard. Let's do a tree. Let's do a nice balance, and then we'll come down for our last 3 or 4 poses on the floor. So hands can go wherever you like. It just helps me to focus, having them in front like this. Bringing all the weight into my left foot, lifting my right heel, and then I'm turning my right knee out. And I like quite a small tree, but I know some people, I'll just hold on to this for a moment because I've got very slippy trousers on. Some people like to put their foot way up here and then but I think mine will slide off. Yeah. So there's all those options. You can go anywhere on that leg. Just bring your foot up, knee out to the side, and just make sure you're not pressing on the knee joint. Don't worry if you wobble. Smile and enjoy the wobble. Let's take those hands up into tall tree. Let's bring the branches out. Ooh. And let's bring the hands to the waist. The knee to the front. See if you can lift. And release. Well done. Have a little shimmy shake out. Ooh. There's a lot of pressure on that standing leg sometimes if you're not used to all these standing poses. So other side, weight into the right foot, left heel up, left knee out. Again, decide where you want it along that leg. You take a few breaths here. We try to focus, we try to soften down through the body. Don't worry if you wobble, it's great for the ego. Honor the wobble. Let's take those arms up. Tall tree. Let's open the branches. Let's bring the hands to the waist, knee to the front. And then lift. And release. Oh, well done. Okay, let's have a little Vinyasa down, just a mini salute. I'm teasing you with them. Maybe we should just do 3 because it never feels like 1 is enough. So we bring our arms out to the side, nice and wide. We reach up, we breathe out, we swan dive down, and we place the hands anywhere you like. We breathe in, we lift up to tabletop. We breathe out and we fold forward. We breathe in to come up, either bending the legs or strong in the legs to come up with that straight back. Hands return to the start and we go again. We breathe in. Breathe out, we swan dive forward. We breathe in, we lift the belly up, we have our tabletop. We breathe out, the head drops down towards the floor. We breathe in, coming up, bend your knees if you need to protect your back so that you can roll up more than coming up with a straight back. We breathe the hands out to the heart space. We breathe in one last time. We breathe out. Not breathing one last time, but we're coming down now to the floor. So you want to bend your knees, place your hands down, step back, and lower yourself onto your belly. Let's come into just a little sphinx here. Arms in front, elbows under the shoulders if you can. If that doesn't feel good, then walk the elbows further away and maybe hang out like this instead. As long as you're feeling a little back bend here, that's what we're looking for. Little back bend in this posture. So we'll take about 5 breaths here as we start to slow and come into some of our seated postures. See if you can soften the body, soften through the shoulders a little bit. Feel the breath moving against the floor, through the belly. Three more breaths. And let's slowly push back into child's pose, which is lovely after Sphinx. It's a lovely counter pose. We want to make it a soft round one, not a long one, so the more rock-like you can get yourself, more like a little ball, the more round and easy for your spine. We just take a few breaths here. And then we come up and we're going to swing those legs around in front of us. We're going to do a little caterpillar or forward bend, Paschimottanasana, if you want the full Sanskrit name. But we're going to do a little wave again here, just like the salutations we did as we stood. We breathe in, we breathe out, we roll forward. We breathe in, we lift up, we make the space here in the torso. We breathe out, we roll forward and keep that nice rolling motion going. Always breathing out as you come forward, as the belly moves in. You don't want to be breathing in as you move forward with an expanded belly. I'm not going to get very far, I know that much with my expanded belly at the moment. So, breathing in, lifting up, and let's just fall and hold on to wherever feels good. Don't make it too rigid. But if you are looking for a good stretch and you can grab your feet, then grab your feet, then elevate your heart. So you've got a nice straight back. And then once you've felt you've reached your peak in your stretch, you just let the head slowly release. And then we slowly release from that. We're going to bring both soles of our feet together into a butterfly or cobbler's pose if you're an Ashtangi or hatha yoga. Butterfly is the yin term. So knees out, have a little flutter with those wings, hold on to your feet, and then you can draw the belly up and through and make yourself nice and tall. Take a couple of breaths there. And then you might want to work the feet a little bit further forward and come into a forward fold, either arms nestling on the inside or on the outside. That again will be your own preference depending on how your shoulders are. So take the pose that feels the softest to you in a way, the sweetest, when you've hit that sweet spot. Don't make it difficult on yourself. As long as you're still feeling the stretch, that's what we're after, more than a resistance. We're not tugging, we're not pulling. We're just softening towards the last few postures while still getting a good stretch. So let's lift up from that one. Let's draw the right leg down the mat, draw the left foot in, nice and tall. Squeeze that left thigh in towards you. And then we're going to draw the right arm nice and long, almost like you're trying to grab your foot there. And then see if you can attach the inside of that right elbow onto the outside of that left knee. If it feels too much here, then just use your hand instead. Right hand on the outer left knee. Left hand comes up. This helps us to make ourselves nice and tall, and then we plant the hand behind us. We breathe in and we lift up through the crown. And you want to think about moving from the waist, not just turning the head to look over the shoulder. Couple of breaths here. It is quite a tight one there, so you will feel some resistance because you're levering yourself into a posture. Let's slowly release from that spinal twist there, and let's draw the right foot in, right knee towards the right chest. We still want to feel our sitting bones and that we're nice and tall here. And again, left arm long, connect with either inner elbow or left hand. Right arm lifts, lift your body as well at the same time, and then plant your hand behind. Nice deep breath in, and as you breathe out, twisting from the waist and seeing what's behind you. Let's slowly release from there. Let's come down onto our backs. Again, lift your hips a little bit, wriggle your shoulders out. Get yourselves comfortable, and let's finish with a few rolling bridges here. So arms are long next to your body, feet are in towards your bottom. You might want a little bit of a gap. I find that helps, a little bit of a gap between the feet. And then we're going to breathe in, we're going to lift the hips up, and as we breathe out, we slowly try to roll each vertebrae down one by one, back onto the mat. And then we breathe in, we lift the hips. Remember that imaginary block between your knees so that you're not collapsing in or out. We roll back down. We breathe in, and you can keep rolling in and up and down, or you can hang out at the top here, squeeze everything up, hang out for a couple of breaths, and when you've had enough, you slowly roll back down. And then we're going to draw the knees back in. Have a nice sway. Have a circle as well if you want. Ease out the back and the thighs, go both directions. And we're going to slowly release now into our Shavasana. So whatever position again works for you, whether that's long and flat or a different position, start to get ready. Find your blanket, your eye pillow, whatever you need to make this relaxing for yourself. So get yourselves ready, make those little adjustments that you need to make. And again, we let the body settle onto the floor, onto the mat. And again, we feel those points of contact, back of the head, backs of the shoulders and the arms, the lower back, backs of the legs and the feet. And then we rest in our natural state, and we hook our mind back into the belly, rising and falling with each breath. Giving ourselves time to feel the benefits of the practice. And as you focus in on the belly, rising and falling, you might feel a warm light spreading out from your center, spreading out from the belly, radiating, spreading in all directions. Warm, healing light, filling the whole of the abdomen, the back, the front, the sides, the top and the bottom, the whole of the abdomen. And the light continues, spreading, streaming out through the limbs, the arms, filling the palms of the hands, down through the legs, nourishing, healing light, filling up all the way down into each toe. Every single toe full of light, and the light continues to pour up through the back of the head, over the crown, down through the forehead and the face, softening, healing, relaxing light, spreading down through the throat, down through the chest, wrapping around the heart space. Beautiful healing light. Until the whole body is full of healing light. Whole body. Start to feel your body lying there on your mat in your room. Start to take deeper breaths in and start to bring a little bit of movement back to your physical body. Wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, stretch out or hug it in, have a little sway if you like. Have a hug in, do what you need to do to make it easier for yourself to come up to seated. So we bring ourselves back to seated, and we draw the hands together at the heart space. And we think of something that we're truly grateful for in our lives right now. One thing that you're grateful for. Whether that's just getting onto your mat tonight, having two hands to rub together. As we rub together in gratitude, get some heat into the palms. Place the palms over the eyes. Let that warmth and gratitude seep in. Take a nice deep breath in. And as we breathe out, we release the hands to the heart space. We bow the head and we say Namaste. Namaste. Thank you if you've been watching on my YouTube. Thank you very much. And I'll see you again next time. Bye-bye.